What's up, guys? This is Conrad from GOG Boxing, and today we're going to talk about injuries. Now, I know a lot of you guys have dealt with shoulder issues, rotator cuff issues. You know, when we're even in our guard, we start, it's natural, we start rolling our shoulders forward, we start getting like this, and then we're working our shoulders a lot, and it's easy to get some irritation in there, or even like a rotator cuff tear. Now, I'm speaking from experience because a few years ago I fell backwards on my arm and I tore my rotator cuff. It was not pretty. When I got an ultrasound, there's a big tear in there, right? And what do? You got to get an operation or something. As we know, operations on your shoulders for boxers, that doesn't have a good outlook now. So this is something that I found after scouring the internet, talking to rehab guys, something to help your shoulders if you do have an injury, or to help them get better even if you don't, to try to prepare yourself. Now, at the risk of repeating myself, I'm going to talk about this a little bit, and then we'll go back out in the yard where in kind of white trash gazebo land where I already filmed it, but I was kind of far away and I don't think you could see it very well. The only tool you need is like one of these strongman stretch bands, right? So this one's a little bit too big for me, but and it doesn't, you could use like a little weight on a rope or something like that, but I found that if you use the handles as the weight and you kind of double it up like this and you spin it around, you're going to kind of do it like a cowboy. That's the right weight, because you're looking for the vibration to get the blood into your joints, into your shoulders, and it will help it heal. One of the reasons why it won't heal is because you can't get the blood in. Now, I'm going to repeat this again and again. I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. This is just a good Samaritan trying to help you, because I've been there and it was no fun. Now, we're going to go out to the yard. We're going to do this step by step. Don't overdo it, but yeah, you can use it to warm up. You can do it in the morning. You can do it in the evening. But I think it's pretty simple stuff, but I don't think you've seen it anywhere else on the net, or at least I haven't. I haven't, okay? So good luck. Let's get to work. 1, 2, 3, and let's go. Hey, what's up? This is Conrad from GOG Boxing, Grumpy Old Geezer Boxing, and like a lot of grumpy old geezers like me, sometimes we get tweaks and injuries. So sorry I wasn't here last week. I didn't put anything up last week, but I had a lot of work, and I kind of tweaked my shoulder for about the 9,000th time. Part of it's getting old, but part of it is having old injuries, right? Which we all get. Now this shoulder here, a few years ago, I fell backwards in the yard and I landed on it, and I pretty severely tore my rotator cuff. I couldn't afford surgery or anything like that, so I searched the internet, I talked to physicians, to rehab guys, everybody, and came up with an exercise. Now, there's a lot of stuff on the net that people put up that will help you, shoulder stabilization exercises and all that. Go find that stuff. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying this worked for me, and I try to put stuff up that maybe you haven't seen before. So it's pretty simple. So you go to the store, to the fitness store, and buy one of these stretch bands, like the strongman ones. This one's a little too big for me, to tell you the truth. I don't have, my arms are too short, but it doesn't matter. This is the only reason we're getting it is because it's the right weight. You're going to have a cord and a weight on the end. Now, these handles, they don't weigh that much, right? But they weigh enough. Gosh, there's mosquitoes out here again. Because it's not the weight that's important, it's creating vibration. Because one of the things that people underestimate, in my humble opinion, and no, this is not medical advice. Don't take this as medical advice. It's just something to try that hopefully it'll work for you, is that it's the vibration which gets that blood flow into your joints and gets stuff working. Now it's starting to rain a bit. I'm going to try to knock this thing out. So this is what you do. First, you take it, you choke up on it a bit, because when you do these, you don't want to hit yourself in the head or the knees or the legs or whatever. You start like that. I'm going to choke on it a little better. We're going to do 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. One direction. Then we're going to go 10 times the other direction. Now, if your shoulder is sore, that's probably enough. If it's not, you can do more than that. You can do 20 times in one direction or 20 times the other, which is usually mostly what I do. But let's say 10 times this direction with the other hand, and then let's go 10 times the other direction, right? I'm not really counting right now because I'm afraid it's going to storm and rain on me. Now what do? We hold it out to the side 10 times. See, it's just jerking on that joint just a little bit, easy going, and it's making the muscles work, so it's stabilizing it, but it's getting some blood in there. And then we go 10 times this way. And then we go 10 times the other way, right? Now what do? I'm going to lean over so you can see. we're gonna, and choke up on it so you don't hit yourself in the foot or the leg. 10 times this way, and then 10 times the other way. You get the picture, right? And then we're gonna do the same thing with this arm. 10 times one way. I actually kind of wasn't paying attention, that's all right. And 10 times the other way. And then finally, the moment of truth. Now, if you guys have some, make sure you choke up on it so you don't hit yourself in the head. And make sure that you can raise your arm. And if it's a severe injury, obviously don't do this, but you're gonna do it like a lasso. 10 times one way. And then we're gonna go 10 times the other way. But just make sure you don't conk yourself in the head and then write me something nasty that, oh man, I tried to fix my shoulder and I knocked myself out. Then we're gonna hold up the other arm 10 times. See, this arm's actually giving me some problems, so this is good I'm doing this. And then 10 times the other way. Whoop. And then don't hit yourself ahead. And that's it. Now you can do them in the morning and you can do them at night. You can do them right before you work out. And what this will do, it'll get that blood in there, because that's one of the reasons why your shoulder doesn't heal. Get that blood in there and get stuff healing. When I tore my shoulder rotator cuff, I went and had an ultrasound, and I had a big, it was ugly. And I couldn't afford surgery or anything like that. So this is what I did. And you know what? When I went in again, a couple months later, because it was making progress, and the guy couldn't believe that it was healing. It wasn't all the way through. And to this day, if I showed you the shoulder, when I'll do it, get up close, you can see there's some muscle missing that never came back. But it functions. You've seen me doing these workouts. So it worked for me. That's all I'm gonna say. Now, this is not medical advice. Don't you dare try to sue me or anything like that if you try it and it hurts or whatever. This is just something to try if you think you can do it, if it's comfortable. Find other exercises, listen to your doctor, take their advice first, but it could work. What it can work is like a prophylactic, a preventive type thing before you're gonna hit on the bags. If you're feeling a little tight in the shoulders, you can do this stuff along with your shoulder stretches and everything and your warm-ups to get that blood in there and get them warmed up. I hope you like that. We'll do some other injury stuff too, because I've had a partially ruptured Achilles, all kinds of stuff. That's just comes with the territory, right? But like, subscribe. We'll get back to the boxing stuff in the next one. We'll talk about how to throw that right hand. God, mosquitoes. Throw that right hand and make sure you get full extension right on it in the next one. And otherwise, good to talk to you. Speak soon. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the flip side. Bye-bye.